Hi, and welcome to BillX. Today I'm going to talk about an international bill of exchange and BillX. In order to understand what BillX is and what it does, you need first to know what a bill of exchange is basically. For centuries, traders were using a bill of exchange as a secure method of payment and debt settlement. Let's have a closer look. Assume this is 18th century Europe. Seller A from London is going to sell goods to buyer B in Italy. The same time seller A has business with supplier C, who sells other goods to seller A. And the good thing here is that supplier C also lives in Italy. Buyer B has to pay seller A, and seller A has to pay supplier C. So seller A asks buyer B, "Can you please pay the amount to supplier C directly in Italy on behalf of me on the due date?" Actually, it's simply a shortcut in payment. So seller A is actually transferring or exchanging the payment to settle another debt in the same country of the buyer B, without having to wait for the buyer B to pay, and then resending the money to supplier C. By this trick, everybody was happy and not worried about transferring money to another country which was not safe in the 18th century. This method was developed and got popular and organized under a bill of exchange concept, which was actually a piece of paper drawn by seller A, instructing buyer B to pay the amount on a due date agreed to a payee, C. Don't forget that the payee was actually another seller who had also sold goods to seller A and was asking for his money. Gradually, this method has also developed as a risk management tool, meaning that a bill of exchange is proof of a debt, a proof of a trade, and since it could also have a due date in the future, therefore it is also a kind of financing tool. You buy today and pay in the future. Nowadays, seller A is called the drawer, buyer B is the drawee, and supplier C is the payee, whereas the payee could be a drawer himself or even a bearer. The drawee is liable to pay upon affixing his signature on the bill, called acceptance. Once he's signed, he is called acceptor, which means he has accepted the payment instruction by the drawer, and failing to pay on a due date will result in legal action against him. As a formal definition, a bill of exchange is an unconditional payment order, instructed by the drawer to the drawee to pay an amount to the order of a payee, including himself on a particular due date. Remember that drawer or drawee may not necessarily be seller or buyer, and a bill of exchange may be used for any other purposes rather than trading only, such as an indirect debt settlement or liability transfer, guarantee, risk management, or part of a trade. As you see, a bill of exchange is a basic negotiation instrument in banking, and all commercial papers have a root in a bill of exchange. For instance, a check is a bill of exchange that drawer's bank is the drawee, meaning that by drawing a check, you are actually instructing your bank to pay the amount to the payee on a due date. However, checks are accepted by its drawee by default. Bills of exchange are ruled under Local Bills of Exchange Act, which are similar country to country, or under UNCITRAL, the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law, which has defined International Bill of Exchange. Please visit www.ibillx.com for more information. Thank you for watching.
Using Powtoon.